We started dreaming about a tiny house, I would say 2 or 3 years ago.
It was actually on house. We saw our first picture of a tiny house.
My wife, Jana, said, OMG, we've got to do this one day.
Other people are doing it. We can totally do it.
It's like love at first sight with the concept.
And then I got pregnant, and then I said no. Come sit on mommy.
The tiny house community, there's not many people who have done it with a child.
On house, there was a picture of 2 little children sitting in a bunk bed in a tiny house, and that was the moment when we realized it's doable. Whoa, you see the...
This kind of looks like our house. This is like the reason why we went with the white shiplap.
That was like one of our favorite pictures.
You got the big window there.
And the closet, that was
the closet, the full closet. Our tiny house is huge in comparison to most. So it's 30 feet long, 8.5 feet wide or 8.6, and then 13.5 feet tall. We designed it to be a totally open layout. We have 2 lofts on each end. Our loft space is the coziest part of our house. It's our favorite spot.
For us, having a queen-size bed in our loft is really important to us because we all sleep in the same bed. So it needs to be big. We have pillows, and it's kind of like the hearth of our home.
We chose 2 lofts for our tiny house, primarily because we were building a tiny house with a child. Our second loft, we call it our lounge loft. It's where our TV is. Eventually, we'll make that his bedroom space. And then below that, there's a space we can convert for a second child with a bunk. The other thing that we had to really focus on was the light color palette. In natural light. Windows open up your space and make it feel so much bigger than it is.
Every single person we've had come through the door, the first thing out of their mouth is, this is bigger than I thought.
We have 14 windows in our tiny house if you include our French doors, our double doors.
I totally wanted French doors. Hi! Actually, I got the inspiration from house. There's this beautiful tiny house, and I kept returning to look at those photos every time I didn't know what to do. Kick it!
All in, it was $63K to build, and actually we contracted it. A lot of the tiny housers actually build their own. We basically made a list of needs and wants and worked with the builder to incorporate as much of that as we could. When it came time to start talking about details like paint color and how our cabinetry is going to look, house was the most organized way to condense all of your ideas into our idea book and then share that with our builder so that we can communicate those ideas clearly.
This is at your nose.
The keys to living tiny with a child is, for one, buying into the minimalistic lifestyle.
In the paring down process, we just really went and looked at what do we really use? What do we really love? I only have 3 pairs of jeans. I only need 3 pairs of jeans. Only having 2 sweaters. I only need 2 sweaters.
When you're working with such a tight space, you have to be intentional with every inch. Our closet currently houses our clothes, my wife and I, on the top row. And then underneath, there's a row for Silas's clothes. And then below that, we store his toys.
It really makes me conscious of what I'm buying. Like, I have to think, where am I gonna put this? Do I need it? And do I already have something I could use?
Everything, every feature of the house has to have 2 or even 3 uses. Our kitchen table folds up and collapses, so we're able to pull it up when we want to have a family dinner. It's perched under the window. Also serves as a desk. When we're not using it, it folds back down, disappears, our stools tuck away underneath our cabinetry, and it becomes our main living space with our seating area. Our staircase up to the loft also functions as a storage space, so we tuck all of our charging, laptops and cell phones and everything has to charge in there, along with books. The kitchen, because we're doing this thing with a family, we need a full-size fridge, we need a full range.
We didn't want to put a dishwasher in, so having a small sink with no dishwasher just wasn't very practical. So I started looking on how to see what other sinks, are there deep sinks, can I do double sinks?
Dueling big sink, one is our drying rack and the other is our washing rack. The bathroom features a stand-up shower, a washer-dryer combo unit, some storage, and then a vanity and a composting toilet. There are a few things that, going back, we might do differently. We went back and forth on shower versus tub. We ended up deciding to go with a stand-up shower. As parents, we sometimes wish that we had a tub.
Having a tub with a child is just more practical and more fun. You make a mess? One day we let him have this giant cake. It was left over from a wedding. He threw the cake everywhere. His cake was all over him, it was all over me. Having a tub in that moment would have been really helpful.
Can you do your face?
I probably would have had lighter floors. The dark floors show every bit of dirt.
Also, if we could go back, we would figure out how to put some sort of railing up the stairs. We were first-time parents, so we didn't even know the ins and outs of what that would look like. He's a wild man. He climbs and plays, and it's constant.
We added a baby gate. Silas can now climb the baby gate. So then I started taking the stools and putting the stools on the stairs on the baby gate. I really would like to add or redo all the railings.
The hardest part about living in a tiny house is parking. You have to park where you can find it, mostly, and we were able to find this place, and we are so grateful for it, but we're actually about to move locations. The tiny house means freedom for us. The short term, it's financial freedom. So not only are we able to essentially hack the Bay Area's really high cost of living, we have the flexibility of travel, of living 6 months here, 6 months there, or whatever we want to do.
The experience of living tiny has really impacted my life. The biggest way is my time. I wanted to give all my time to my son, but I couldn't. I was managing stuff.
So we spend a lot of our time getting out, giving Silas amazing experiences, and then when we're at home, we're able to celebrate the small moments.
We have this amazing tiny house and we have this amazing life now because of a simple choice we made. And so that's been really wonderful.
Tiny house life is everything that we hoped it would be and really nothing that we were worried it might be. It feels as if we're living the dream. We are. We're living our dream.